Did Scott succumb and make Tyler Anderson one of his sleeper pitchers for this week? Find out next on Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. Welcome into FBT in 5 on Friday, June 21st. I am Frank Stampfl, joined by Scott White. Let's start things off with 2 start pitchers. Do we start or sit these names? This one might sound weird, but Gerrit Cole, he's back. He's at the Mets, at the Blue Jays. Do you start him?
Yes, you start Gerrit Cole, I think, across the board. Pretty good matchups there. His return from the IL could have gone better, certainly, but he's Gerrit Cole, and he gets the benefit of the doubt for now.
Kevin Gausman and his teammate Chris Bassett, they have the same matchups at the Red Sox and home against the Yankees, so pretty tough ones.
Yeah, pretty tough ones. I don't have them in the must-start tier of my 2-star pitcher rankings, but they're still advisable, I would say, even with the tough matchups. I think most people are going to see those 2 ball indicators next to their name and just put them in the lineup.
It's been an interesting start to the season for Bryan Woo. He's dealt with injuries off and on, the pitch count not getting too high. He's at the Rays and home against the Twins next week.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm totally sanguine about it or about Bryan Woo in general, but his numbers are what they are and these matchups are what they are, and I think it's probably just something you have to do.
Cole Irvin is home for 2 against the Guardians and Rangers.
I could see it in a points league. Cole Irvin's come back down to earth the past couple starts, but they are in Baltimore, so hopefully that will help to negate the strong lineups that he's facing. 2 starts for the extra volume in a points league. I could see doing it.
James Paxton coming off his best start of the season. He's at the White Sox, at the Giants. Pretty good matchups.
Yeah, I think even if James Paxton was just facing the White Sox after the start he just had, he would make the cut here for the sleeper pitchers. I'm not crazy about James Paxton rest of season, but for these matchups, if you're having to pick and choose who to start, I think he's fine.
What about the sleeper pitchers? Did Tyler Anderson make the cut?
Yes, he did. Tyler Anderson made the cut. You don't want to get caught holding the bag when he regresses to what his ERA estimators all say his ERA should be, which is in the 4.50 to 5 range. I do think that's going to happen at some point. But if it happens in a week he's facing the Athletics and the Tigers, that is some extremely bad luck. So I think Tyler Anderson, a worthy play this week. 2-star pitchers who I like even more than him, Matt Waldron, somehow still is eligible for this list here, 78% rostered. He gets the Nationals and the Red Sox. Brandon Pfaadt, a couple good matchups against the Twins and the Athletics. I think they're both basically must start this week with the 2 starts. Spencer Schwellenbach, I like him too. I think even he is somebody that's advisable in most leagues, coming off 2 quality starts and a really good start last time out. Cardinals and Pirates is who he's facing. So that's really, really strong there for Spencer Schwellenbach. 1 start options who I like, Reese Olson. Hopefully he's back on track. He gets the Angels. Mitchell Parker against the Rays, who strike out a lot against lefties, especially. Jonathan Cannon coming off 2 really good starts in a row. Don't entirely trust him, but he gets the Rockies in Chicago this week. I like that. Chris Paddock, he had double-digit strikeouts last time he faced the Mariners. They're a very strikeout-prone team. Hopefully he can do something like that again. And Brian Bayo coming off a really good start against the Blue Jays. He gets to face them again. I did miss Kyle Gibson as a 2-star pitcher. I like him more for points leagues with the volume he provides. The matchups could be better, Braves and Reds, but I think Kyle Gibson is worth mentioning here as well.
What about the hitters? Best matchups for next week: the Royals, Orioles, Angels, Cubs, and A's. The worst hitter matchups: Mets, Marlins, Rockies, Pirates, and Mariners. Who are your favorite sleeper hitters for week 14?
My favorite of all is David Hamilton. The Red Sox are not among the teams with the best hitter matchups, but the matchups are okay. Mostly, though, it's that they're facing nothing but righties, at least as things stand now. David Hamilton tends to sit against lefties. If he's facing righties, batting second in the lineup, stealing a lot of bases, I think you want to take advantage of that righty-heavy schedule. You could do the same with Wilyer Abreu, provided he comes off the IL this upcoming weekend as expected and is available for next week's games. Another left-handed hitter who sometimes sits against lefties, but he was verging on must-start status in fantasy before he got hurt. And there are a couple other players here who benefit from righty-heavy schedules. Michael Busch, who's been heating up for the Cubs, they're scheduled to face nothing but righties. Gerrit Cole, who's of course moved up to the leadoff spot for the Braves. They only have one lefty on the schedule in their 7 games. So I like both Busch and Kelnick this week. The Athletics, you mentioned they have the 5th best hitter matchups. 4 players I like from their lineup. Zack Gelof, who's certainly been heating up. JJ Bleday's been pretty steady all year. Tyler Soderstrom has been playing much better of late. And Miguel Andujar has been hot. So I think all 4 of them are worthy plays. I also like Andrew Vaughn and Ceddanne Rafaela this week. Not so much for matchups, but just because they've been so productive of late.
All right, for more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to the Fantasy Baseball Today podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the Odyssey app, or anywhere else podcasts are found. Thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today in 5, and we will be back again tomorrow. Bye-bye.